Hello, this is Farshad Buluri. This is a demonstration of the QuailKit application developed by the Applied Vision Lab. And in this video, I'm going to demonstrate the capabilities and features of the most recent version of QuailKit as of January 12, 2021. Alright, first things first, your datasets and your recordings for this application should be set up in this way. You have your recordings. I have them set by name and the date. Each of these folders, QuailKit is going to use two folders, and there can be other things in each of these recording datasets, but the main two folders that QuailKit is going to use is the mics and GT. You have to have mics, and the uppercase and lowercase matters. And in that folder, you have your recordings, your 4 recordings, and your 4 metadata. And these are, and the way these are named are important. You're going to have your ground truth folder, and that's in case you have manual annotations. They don't have to be there. If you don't have them, you can just not have that folder. You're just not going to be able to use some of the features of QuailKit, which I'm going to explain later. All right. So this is how the QuailKit looks like. You're gonna, if you want to import a dataset, you go to File, you go to Import, and then you go to, you find your folder. Mine is right here. You just click on the folder. You don't need to go in there and click any other folders. You just click on the parent folder and select folder. You wait for it to load the data. And you can see it says no recording is loaded. When it loads, it becomes green. All right. So let's go ahead and introduce some of the basic features. There's the shift feature. That's, you can just use that to go to whatever time you want. So I'm going to go to 7:05 a.m. You can see the 4 spectrograms, and these are 10-second intervals. So you can see it's from 6 a.m. to 6:10 a.m. Alright, so you can see, for example, I know this interval has 3 calls here. So there are several features you can see here. The first one, if you want to detect the calls, simply just click on Quail Call Detection, and that's going to detect the calls. You can see the calls detected are shown there by red, and you can see which of these calls are matched. If you click on Match Calls, find match calls, you can see they're going to be shown in different colors. You see the 4 orange ones are matched, 4 white ones are matched, and 4 purple ones are matched. And also you can localize them. So then you just click on Map. By the way, you don't have to first click Match Calls. You can just go ahead and click on Map. And it's going to take a little bit of time to localize these 3 calls. Alright. Okay, so now you can see these are the 4 microphones. If you click on them, it shows the, sorry, my mouse has a little problem. Alright, so it says the latitude and longitude, and you see the red ones are the localizations of the microphones. And if you click on them, you see it has a third value. It says Z, and it says 2. 2 means that localization is for the number 2 here. The match calls number 2. You can see here, 2 are in white. And yes, so we can also go ahead and let's just go somewhere else. Let's go 740. Also, you can use these 2 buttons here to go to previous 10 seconds or next 10 seconds if you just want to go continue, but there's also the shift button. So also you can just let all of these be on, like you don't have to turn it off when you want to go to another interval. It's just going to take a little more time because at the same time that it's trying to go to that interval, it's also calculating all of these that you have on, the quail call, displaying the match calls, and the localization here. Alright, it's going to take a little while. Okay. And okay, so this is a good example. In this one, you can see that it's finding only one localization out of there's 3 matched calls. So it can find 3 matched calls. There's the orange one, there's the white one, and there's the purple one. But it's only showing you one number, 1, and that's this call. All right. So, and also on all of these, you can save this the plots. Like you can just click on save here, and it will save them as a PNG file. The same goes for the spectrograms. You can save them right here. You can zoom on them. You can do all sort of things. All right. So now the next feature is the annotations. I told you if you don't have the GT file, GT folder, and you don't have the manual annotations, you cannot use this. But if you do, in this case I do, we just click on annotations, and it finds. You can see it's finding true positives. All right. So in this case, the annotation that was done by someone else was done out of the range of the frequency range. All you need to do is just zoom out, and you can see that the box they made for the annotations is actually the box, and you can see that 2 of these calls are in the range of this box, so it shows them as true positives. This first call, you can see it's definitely a call, but it was not annotated. It's gonna be counted as false positive because it's assuming that the annotations were correct, so this might be wrong detection, so it's counting it as a false positive. And yeah, and also the last feature, you can play any of these recordings by just simply clicking on these play buttons, and it just plays that interval. And you can just turn this off. Alright, I'm gonna turn the quail detection off. We don't need them. Detection off. Alright. Also, you have the choice to choose what template you want to use. If these are real birds, you click on real bird. If these are synthetic calls, you can click on synthetic. And also there's a third option for import, which you can just import if you have your own template that you want to use for template matching and finding the match calls. Finding the calls, you just click on import and you choose your own template. And at the end we have the mode, which is they have online and offline. When you click on offline, everything's going to turn off, and there's going to be this feature here, batch processing type. Alright, so you have 2 options. You have a sequential and you have a parallel. When you click on sequential, it's just going to go ahead and start doing all these computations for the whole recording in a sequential manner. It's going to take a little bit of time depending on how long are the recordings. And there's also the parallel option. The parallel option, it really depends on the hardware. It's recommended on the stronger hardwares because especially RAM is very important. I personally recommend it on RAMs that are higher than 16 gigabytes and not 8 gigabytes. 16 should be enough, and the more the better. It's going to be faster. But RAMs are 8 gigabytes, I would recommend just going by sequential. It's just when you click on parallel, it automatically computes how much RAM you have available, and with respect to that, it's gonna probably use around 85% of your available RAM to do this parallel processing. It's usually gonna take 1/4 of the time of sequential if you have enough RAM. And yeah, so this parallel is usually recommended when you don't really want to use your computer for other stuff, and just let this run and use your available RAM. And yep, that's the demonstration of this QuailKit. When the batch processing is over, It's usually going to bring a button here, and it's going to tell you, do you want to go, there's a finish button. When you click on finish, it's going to generate an Excel file in that same folder that has all the information you need, all the computations that it's done. Thank you.